Welcome to On Deck, where we are charting the course for Marauder Athletics. My name is Dane Savarese, a graduate assistant in athletics here at Millersville, and I will be your host. Joining me for today's podcast is a senior who has been making waves in the pool for years. She sits next to me as a multi-time school record holder, currently holding the top spots in program history for both the 100-yard and the 200-yard breaststroke, and is a specialist in breaststroke and IM. She has been on the podium staple for the PSAC championships and a key part of the school record-breaking relay teams in the 200 and 400 medley and the 200 free relay. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored and excited to welcome Leah Eckert as she gets ready for the PSAC championships just this week to the podcast. Leah, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, it's my pleasure. And first, kind of just talk about what this week kind of means for you. Obviously, it's PSAC championship week, but also as a senior, like what's that kind of feeling like for you?
I mean, there's a lot of redemption, I feel, compared to last year. Last year was a more difficult meet for me, and I want to look forward to this meet. And I think just having minimal pressure and more fun. I think it being the last one every year is it's difficult going into it. You have so much pressure on your back, you want to do so well. But this one's just if I don't do well, it doesn't really matter. Mm-hmm. It's my last one. Just have fun, enjoy the team atmosphere, mm-hmm. and yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, no, that's exciting. And sometimes you perform even better when you don't have that kind of pressure and stress on you.
Always.
So first, I kind of wanted you to just take me back to kind of where it started out in the pool for you. When did you kind of determine you wanted this to be a competitive thing and what you wanted to do?
Yeah, so I started swimming when I was pretty young. I think 7.
Okay.
My mom just threw me in it because my sister swam, and she was like, "Oh, you guys can just do it together." Mm. But yeah, I think it got more serious definitely in high school, because you usually swim for summer swim, and that's pretty much it. Mm-hmm. Just move on, do other sports. I tried lacrosse and cheerleading, and the running was too much for me. But yeah, so I kept it with the pool. I did water polo, which was really fun. But I think my senior year was a very pivotal point for me, my best year. And I had a lot of hardships that year, but persevering, and I think with the team atmosphere and everyone really gathering together, it was really helpful. And then after states, I still didn't even know if I wanted to swim in college, and I think it was literally April. I emailed the coach that was here, and I was like, "Is there any way I can get onto the team?" And he had a spot for me, and he let me come on. Literally, May 1st, I committed, which is usually the deadline to get here and swim. But yeah, I'm forever grateful that I did. Best decision of my life, pretty much.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And it's funny that you mentioned the running's not for you, because swimming in itself is a very cardiovascular as well.
Very different though.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah, no, definitely. I just remember, because I swam in high school with one of your teammates. We touched on already, Kate, but I just remember after practice I was so beat and so exhausted, because I was I don't know how people do this and do it as well as you guys do it.
Yeah, but that's how I feel about the runners. I'm wow, go, you run 10 miles today? That's impressive.
No, definitely. That's too funny.
Yeah.
And so you mentioned kind of high school a little bit. You were an all-state swimmer in high school.
Yeah.
And also a member of the water polo team, which you mentioned. I think that's sick. What did that look like? How did that kind of come about? Did you have schools to play against? Did you play in your pool that you had at Wilson, or what that looked like?
Yeah, so I think it's not very common in PA that water polo is. It's more a California thing.
Okay.
So, but yeah, there was a lot of schools in PA. If you know Cumberland Valley, we were there a lot, and Wilson, and there was Governor Mifflin, we were around, and so they were our big rivalries. But water polo is very different too, because swimming is such an individual sport, but you also have your team. So switching from that to water polo, it's very team based, and learning treading and everything. You're not it's not just swimming with your head down in a black line. Like your head's constantly up. You're always being aware of everything. But yeah, water polo is really fun. It's very different, but
yeah, it's interesting because I didn't even like think about it like that. Like it's a different style of being in the water.
Yeah, like your elbows it's just technique wise. Like your elbows have to be up, head's constantly up. You don't wear goggles, so you have like chlorine like poisoning all the time in your eyes.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's really cool though.
We do like milk shots. Like you put the milk in your goggles and then you like lift it up, and
that's too funny.
We don't gotta do that with
it?
swimming. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Like for the chlorine chemicals and oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
But at least you don't gotta do that for swim.
Yeah, no, yeah. What would always bother me with swim was, and I don't know how you guys do it with your hair, but like the cap.
Oh
the
yeah.
The cap was always just so like annoying.
Yeah.
Like just ripping out my hair. Just,
oh,
like,
I know.
It's
an
an
still
uncomfortable
does.
feeling on the ears.
The cap damage really gets you.
That's too funny. So you mentioned kind of you reached out. Did you kind of always just reach out to Millersville? Were you talking to other schools, or like what kind of led you here?
Yeah, I had a couple schools in mind, but honestly, I think I really wanted to stay close to home, and I think with there being only a couple other schools, I think Millersville was just like my best bet. I came in like undecided, so I didn't really know what I wanted to do, figuring everything out.
Yeah.
Everything I'm a very like, I don't know, what's the word? Like, oh, I can't think of it. Now I can't think of it. But, go with the flow. Like, it doesn't really like, I don't know. I feel like there's a reason why I'm here, and there's a reason why I was brought here. And I think that obviously just choosing it from close to home, there was many other options, but that was really the main reason.
Yeah.
And it allowed me to swim too. Since I had like such a short notice, because I just randomly decided to swim, literally in like March.
Okay.
I was like, oh, let me just reach out to this one.
Yeah.
And yeah, all works out how it does.
Awesome. Yeah, no, definitely. I definitely live and die by that too, because you know you never know where you could end up and what you could be doing. So then you come to Millersville, and is there much of a difference between high school and collegiate swimming? I'm sure there is. Like most sports have that transition, but like what was kind of the difference with that?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of different backgrounds just coming into like college. Since everyone's from all over the place, we all have different ways we've been taught things, and like swimming wise, you're learning new people, you're learning the new coach style, it's a bunch of collective things. And in high school, I feel like you're with these girls for like your whole life. It's pretty much, so you get really like used to everyone, and you're very close. But I think that's also a really good thing when you come into like college, because you can get with these girls and you're learning everyone's different like backgrounds and their like ethics and everything. So I think it's really cool to be a part of that, where you can just learn about other people's backgrounds and everything.
Yeah, it's kind of like more of a diverse environment.
Yeah.
Than when you're in high school and it's like you've grown up with these people.
Yeah,
and you've
it's
been
just
with
the
them
same
forever.
like 30 girls.
Yeah.
I love them, but it's so cool to branch out and like find those differences.
No, definitely. And so now, like, obviously, being a student athlete in high school is different than being a student athlete in college.
Yeah.
How did you find balancing, like, high-level academics and then, obviously, like, the swim schedule? What did your schedule kind of look like when you first got here?
Yeah. So swimming, it's a very demanding sport. Your hours are very all over the place, but it's all the time. Like we'll have like 4-hour days where we're constantly like at the pool, but I think managing your like own well-being and prioritizing what you need best, I think is still a really important balance to your academics, because you can't perform well if you don't balance yourself out. So I think when you have the morning practices, you got to come back, eat well. If you need a nap, just take the nap, like it's okay to be a little sleepy sometimes. And then, going to class on time, like being there, showing up, it's really important. And and then making sure like you get your work done. it somehow all fits in your day to day, but
Yeah.
you make it work. And I think a good way to look at it is like your 9-to-5 job. Like
Yeah.
you try to work in between as much hours through those hours, and getting like really laying out your work and scheduling it.
Yeah, kind of like managing your time a little
Yeah.
bit better. Yeah. Which with practice and stuff like that, like eventually you do have the set schedule, so you can kind of, alter whatever you're doing around it.
Yes.
So like I mentioned, you have a pretty impressive resume here at Millersville, currently holding individual school records in the 100-meter breaststroke and then the 200 breaststroke. What kind of did that look like for you when you had broken them? Was that like a goal that you had set and then you hit the goal, or was it like, oh, I did that, let me see what else I can kind of do? Like, what was that thought process?
Yeah, so when I came in as a freshman, I broke those records, and then this year as a senior, I was able to re-break them. But I think coming in as a freshman, I felt really like ready to come into college. Like, it was really exciting. And then those 3 years, they were obviously really difficult. I mean, it's a whole new life. Like, you're balancing everything, and like it gets pretty difficult in the like sophomore or junior year, because you're like, oh, I got this and I got this moving forward, and I'm trying to figure out my life. And then like senior year comes, and it's like you're just trying to live it, you know. It's not like you're so focused on this and this and that. Like, I'm just trying to live in the moment and have the most fun as I can in my last year. So I think being able to break these records, and they were just like my own personal goals. My coach and I like sit down all the time and we look at what can we tweak. It's literally could be like a millisecond off of the block, or like a turn, like, or how fast your breakout is, but very minimal things that really do affect your race. But they were goals I had ever since I walked into Millersville. They were goals I had in high school I'm just really grateful I was able to break them. And it's mainly your mindset and like your teammates, they really get you there. But
so my next question was kind of about like how your training changed, but from your perspective, it kind of seems like it's just more of like a mindset thing, and like how you kind of attack it. Would you say that is true, or does the training kind of switch a little bit? Or
I mean, definitely the training can switch. I think like in the beginning of our season's very long. It's like 26 weeks, so it's like the longest season on campus. But in our first, like, I would say 10 weeks, it's just a lot of building like that, like muscle strength. You're building your endurance, so it's a lot of yardage, and that's when you're very like fatigued, you're exhausted all the time. And then over the time you get to your meets, and then you have your mid-season, and you're going on taper, which that's a whole thing. But very I would say mindset can definitely be your biggest battle in general, because obviously you're just staring at a black line all 2 hours, and I think you have to push yourself to go over the 100% in every practice and every meet.
Yeah, so obviously as much of an individual sport as it is, like relays and stuff like that, you're relying on your teammates. So what does that pressure kind of look like, like personally, for like to be like to know like, okay, well, if I'm the breaststroke part of the team, like I know I need to get ahead so that I can let my closers, my finishers come in, and you kind of do something special. Is there pressure? Does your team make that easier? Like, kind of, how does that?
Yeah, I think I love relays personally, because I feel like there's a different pressure. I think it's more fun when you're going up with 3 other girls, and there's this sense of like camaraderie, like you guys are going to do this, but you're going to do it together. And I think that's really important. Like you're relying on yourself, but you're also relying on other girls to like get you to where you can all be your best at your own thing. But yeah, I would say there's definitely a lot less pressure. I think just like ensuring that you guys all cheer each other on, and that you guys have each other's backs.
Yeah, that's the other thing too with like swimming is it's like sometimes you just get so like into it and like like we said, like you have the cap on and the goggles and you're staring at the black line or whatever.
Yeah, it's really difficult sometimes.
Yeah, and it's like you kind of, I mean, at least I did. Like I wasn't as aware of like the teammates on the side of the pool like screaming at you like go,
because you're just looking at the pool 24/7 like.
Yeah. It's just interesting because it does play a role.
Yes,
I think.
it really does.
And it helps kind of the difference between like a field sport and being able to like have a moment and then share that moment immediately with your team on the field is so different than like you're in the pool, you have to get out of the pool.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean?
So much
like,
effort.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but you can kind of take that and it's just an interesting like. It is just you in the pool. And you have everyone on the outside, but it is just kind of like more individual, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Well, now we'll shift over to just kind of like talking about the team a little bit. What was one word you would use to kind of describe like your team's culture and like kind of who you guys are as a program?
Well, I would have to say we're pretty energetic. I sometimes I feel bad for our coach. He really puts up with us. We're very loud, but I think that's also a really good thing. I think that there's only 15 of us, 16 of us, and I think with having such a smaller team on like the PSAC and like as just a women's swim team, I think you have to be able to kind of know your team and understand it and use it to like motivate you guys. Like when we go to PSACs, it's just like our 16 girls and we're showing up like in like the corner and you got like these other teams that have like 50 people on. Wow. So you got to like be able to be energetic and be there for your team, like scream as loud as you can because it's just say now there's like 15 of you guys and you're the only one on the block. Like you got to be able to scream for that one person. So yeah.
No, it's interesting and I feel like just PSAC in general, there's so much like high level sports in general, like just in the area. Yeah. That it's like those bigger teams. I've been on the other side of that where you're playing the bigger team and you have about 20 kids and you're like, okay, we need everybody to level up a little bit. So for sure. Yeah, it's cool that you guys can do that and you have that like everybody has that awareness to be like, all right, everybody, let's get up behind the block and let's go. That's awesome. So now obviously you've spent significant time with head coach Anthony, like you said, you guys, there's 16 of you, so it's like you get to develop a bit of a relationship and a rapport with him and Aubrey as well, the GA. What do you kind of appreciate about his approach to being a part of this program and how he kind of comes to practice every day? I think Evan, he cares a lot about us. He doesn't just care about us like as an athlete, but like as just a human being, and he always talks about how after swimming where he wants us. Like he really does look out for our team, and like I said, he puts up with us a lot. Like we're an energetic bunch, but I think just the ability for him to just sit down with us and be very like one-on-one about like our goals, and he'll talk to you about anything. So we always appreciate that, and he comes in to practice always looking forward to it, and which gets obviously us involved, because if you have a coach that's not really involved, then what's the point of it? So all right, awesome. Now kind of explain, so you kind of briefly touched on it, PSAC championships, like you guys are off in the corner, but like obviously they start tomorrow, right? So for someone who has never been a part of like a huge championship meet like that, kind of how would you describe the experience? Like you walk in, what is it like? You walk in and this is like the craziest thing you'll ever see, because the warm-up pool, let me just get started on that. Imagine you jump into a pool and there's like 30 people behind you. They're like, people do not care. They will run you over. But you got to get your warm up in. That's like saying you got to go on a run and you're going to go on you're warming up for your marathon. There's a bunch of people trying to warm up. So it's the most hectic thing I've ever been to. It's like can be worse than like an amusement park sometimes. Like it's insane. But
I think after that, all of that, the atmosphere I think is a really cool thing to experience as just like an athlete, like everyone coming together. I think that people still, they don't just cheer for their team, but like you see people from your high school and I think like they cheer for you, you cheer for them. So I think it's very like collective, like a really good experience because you're not just like there for yourself. You're there for everybody else.
Yeah. And it's a long event, right? It's 3 days.
Yeah, 4 days.
4 days.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's very exhausting,
Yeah.
mentally draining sometimes. Like, you can tell when the days go on, everyone's kind of like, oh, this is so difficult. But I think they really do like a good job bringing like people's like motivation in. Like they'll put on good music and like people will dance. Like it's a good experience too.
Which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
So now you kind of touched on it a little bit, but we're hitting like the home stretch with the championship starting tomorrow. Kind of what are your predictions for the team as a whole? And then I know you mentioned you're just trying to enjoy it. And you're just trying to, soak it all in one last time. What are your kind of predictions for yourself?
Yeah, for the team, I think I know we're gonna do good. I can feel it. You can see it at practice. I think this is like the best mindset that we've all came into a meet with. Obviously, there's the nerves and the freshmen coming in. I know that they're nervous, but like it's just the freshman thing, you don't. Obviously, it's nerve wracking. Like it's your first really like besides midseason, like your big meet. And you want to do well. There's this like unknown expectation that you have on yourself that it's frustrating, but I think you have to shift the mindset into just like enjoy yourself and you know that you can do this. You train 25 weeks for this and that you just got it yourself. But individually, I'm looking forward to day 3 and 4. Those are my better days. So 1 and 2 is like my IM events. So you got the 2 IM. Okay. And then day 2 is like the 4 IM. And then day 3 is my 1 breast. And then day 4 is my 2 breasts. So my 1 breast I'm placed pretty well right now. Nice. Going in as like second seed. So I think knowing for myself, I just need to be confident in like who I am as not just an athlete, but as a person. Like I'm here to be the best I can, and that's all I can do. Being there for everyone and just going it with the best mindset and just having fun, enjoying it. Yeah.
Like you said, gotta enjoy it.
Yes.
Right? It's the send off.
Yes.
Right?
It's literally like the last 4 days I will ever be doing this. So it's bittersweet, but
yeah. I was gonna say, do you foresee yourself kind of outside of the pool ever coaching or like outside of collegiate sport, like staying competitive with it, or is it kind of like, all right, the competitive nature of swimming, like now it's just gonna be I can enjoy summers and go swim.
Honestly, I don't know. I feel like I can definitely see myself coaching. My high school coach is always like, please come back, like please coach, like we'll love you to coach. So I feel like that definitely can be on my horizon, but competitive swimming, I don't know. Okay. I might take a break, but I will never like not be in the pool for sure. Yeah. It's something that will always be a part of me.
Yeah, gotcha. All right, now we have like a bit of a rapid fire segment. So it's just some questions more or less about the team. Okay. Kind of a couple more questions about yourself. Who are you giving aux to on the bus to a meet?
Kate Pelagatti.
Kate Pelagatti. Is it Kate? That's funny.
She's always our aux person.
Is she?
Yeah.
That's awesome. That doesn't shock me one bit. If you had a hidden talent, what would you say that is?
I know how to drive stick shift.
Okay.
But I feel like I can kind of sing. My team will say I can sing.
Okay.
But I'm just like, kind of.
You gotta humble yourself.
Yeah.
Right? All right. If you had one artist that you had to listen to for the rest of your life, who is it? Now this is even like exceeds difficult. Like not just like in your mindset, it's probably like, oh, who am I listening to before meet?
I know.
You have one artist you're listening to for the rest of.
I listen to a lot of church music.
Okay.
I'm a believer in Jesus, so I'm gonna say Elevation Worship.
Elevation Worship. Yeah. Awesome. Lovely. If you could race Lydia Jacoby in a 100-meter breaststroke, How close do you think it would be?
Oh, it would be horrible. She would smoke me. Probably 2 laps ahead.
And the reason I asked that is because that's your favorite athlete.
Yeah.
Correct, yeah. That's too funny.
Oh, yeah, dude, it would be embarrassing. So embarrassing.
That's funny.
I wouldn't even dive in at that point. I'm like, girl, you got this.
Just watch her.
Yeah.
Just take tips and sit back.
Yeah.
Last one. What's your go-to pre-meet meal?
Oh. Meal.
Or I guess post-meet meal if you're not necessarily really eating before a meet because you don't want to.
Yeah. I'm going to have to say either Chick-fil-A or like just a juicy burger.
What do you get?
Give me everything, like the milkshake. I need French fries.
Okay.
That's my favorite food. So
That's super funny.
French fries, yeah, put it in there.
That's hilarious. Alrighty, well that's gonna do it for today's podcast. I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah.
That is all for today's episode. If you enjoyed this week's episode and want more, be sure to follow us on Instagram and X at Marauders, and check out our podcast page on our Maine Athletics website for video and audio of today's podcast recording. That link will be in the description of the box here below. As always, thank you for coming aboard the deck with us today. Until next time, anchors away and go Ville.